Welcome to Poland Daily History with me, Nicholas Richardson. And in this episode, we're going to look at the major city of Kraków in Poland. And I'm delighted to have with me to discuss it, Adam Starzyński. Adam, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Now, of all the cities in Poland which people have heard of, after Warsaw, probably Kraków is the one which is known by many, many people.
Definitely, especially judging by tourist statistics, it really is a mecca for tourists coming to Poland. Naturally, because of its wonderful architectural wealth, it truly is one of Europe's great cities. The people of Kraków, they themselves naturally love having visitors, but also it depends a little bit on exactly what type of visitors. In recent years, there has been a campaign to try to attract more families and wealthy tourists that come and spend a lot of money.
Yes, I think in recent years, a combination of cheap airlines and cheap alcohol has attracted the wrong sort of tourist.
The stag parties are not that fondly seen.
No.
But on the other hand, it has to be said that Kraków was always a city for parties. Naturally, back in the day, it was mainly the royal court and the feasts that they held. But I assume that in drunken stupor, people often look the same, no matter what social class they belong to.
And so going back, what do we know of the origins of Kraków?
Kraków dates back quite a long time. The first settlements on the famous Wawel Hill, which is this little hill overlooking the city on which the first fortifications were built, and later what became the Wawel royal palace and fortress. The first settlement was from the 4th century. So this was pre-Slavic and definitely pre-Polish, but this was very, very tiny. The first real larger settlement is from the 7th century. So here we're talking about the Slavs who had just immigrated to those areas a little bit earlier, but initially they also were not part of the Polish state. It was the Vistula tribe which later would be adopted into the Polish nation, so to say. The Polish nation is made up of a number of West Slavic tribes that lived on the territory of today's Poland and also a little bit beyond it, which at the end of the 10th century had their first ruler, Mieszko I, uniting them. But the Vistulans, who started building Kraków in the 7th century, they were later incorporated into the first Slavic state, namely Greater Moravia. Greater Moravia later suffered from invasions by the Hungarian tribe that had immigrated into Europe from more or less the Ural Mountains area. They devastated the surroundings wherever they went, as most Asian steppe peoples when they enter into Europe. And after that brief interlude of Hungarian domination in the area, the area was conquered by the Bohemian king Boleslaus I the Cruel. So there were more or less 2 generations in which, during which the city was under Bohemian rule, before finally Mieszko I at the end of the 10th century took control of the city and brought it into the Polish crown, where it has been ever since, with short interlude of our Austrian friends and later during the Second World War by the Nazi Germans. If we also look at the origins of Kraków, as many other cities, they have their foundational myth, so to say, also explaining the name of the city. According to the legend, the ancient ruler Krakus was ruling, but he had a big problem, as there was a dragon that lived in a cave under a Wawel Hill, and knights from across Poland came to try to vanquish this dragon. None succeeded until Krakus himself had enough of the charade and decided that if this dragon is too strong to defeat in a normal way, let's offer him a poisoned lamb, and this is what finally killed the dragon. The king could finally be rest assured that the Wawel Hill was safe, and from there on he could build his foundations on this hill.
Adam, as usual, the clock has defeated. If I could just ask you to pause there and we'll pick it up next time. There we are. I've had to interrupt Adam almost in mid-sentence, but fear not. If you join us next time on Poland Daily History, as we hope you will, we'll pick up the story and learn more about the exciting city of Krakow. In the meantime, thank you for watching.